Do you find yourself constantly copy-pasting while creating content? Isn't that annoying? My goal for 2025 is to get rid of all these repetitive steps in my whole content creation workflow. Follow me because I will be documenting it all. So this is one of my content flows that I quite like. It does already quite a lot for me, meaning it checks a folder where I put in content that is already scheduled to publish. And it checks that folder once per week. Then if there's new content, and there's always new content, then it gets the content of a document, defines the type of content, whether it's a text or carousel or video, and then it adds that content to my content database in Airtable. And it moves also the document itself that was here, it moves it to the published folder. So that is also, I like it that I don't have to do it manually. But this is the main step because it adds everything to this huge content database in Airtable. Where are they? No backlog for review, for example. Here I have a lot. It's loading. Yes. So you can see that it's a big database. Let me scroll out a bit. Get smaller. So it looks a bit like this. And here I have on the left, I have different views that I use so that I can keep track of each step. And now the thing is that this automation is only when I really write the content myself and then already want to add it to the database and move it to the published folder. However, sometimes my great strategist and content advisor, Sveta, reviews some of it. And that's where I want to add another automation. So I already started adding steps here. So I want sometimes when I want Sveta to review something, I would just move it to this view for Sveta in Airtable, set the status. There are no records currently. Then she would get a notification and then she can move it to ready, for example, reviewed by Sveta. Oh, that would be the correct status, I'd say. And then I would get a notification that it's ready and I can review it. And also it should be moved to appropriate folders. So I would like to build that one out. But when I build a workflow, an automation, as you can see here, I like to map it out first so that I know what I'm doing and check whether I actually reach the goal that I want to have. So let's do that this time together. And I guess the goal this time would be, the truth is, I just want to get rid of manual steps in my content review workflow with Sveta. That will be my Sveta. Content review workflow. Okay, so that is our goal. It's actually what I want to do. I don't want to spend time on texting her on WhatsApp and then her texting me back when it's ready and then moving the documents around manually. We just get rid of that. It's a small thing, but it's annoying that I'm still doing it manually. And the goal is to get rid of all these manual repetitive steps, right? This year in the whole process. So let's get on that. What will we need? So let's do the steps like this, for example, but that. So I like what I do. I like to map out the steps of this flow. So the first step would be that I create a draft for review, because not all of them are for review, right? But if I create a draft for review, this should trigger something. So maybe the first step could be I mark a draft for review in Airtable, because that will be our trigger. Oh, that is a good idea. That will be our trigger. And now, as soon as I do that, this should trigger message. Let's say Slack message to Sveta. With Slack, I already have a connection in my current make.com account. So let's send a Slack message to Sveta. Then what do we want? Then it's a manual step. Add that here as well so that we have a real overview. Let's give it another color because it's a manual step. So Sveta reviews the document, Sveta reviews, sets it to reviewed by us in Airtable. Okay, sets, marks. Let's say marks the document, right? So now I see this one is also, that is also a manual step, right? Okay, and then I should get a Slack message, right? So that should happen automatically. Is this color? Yes. Slack message to Dorota. And the Slack message should contain, I can maybe put it as a separate sticky note. Contains link to draft on Google Doc, right? Or rather in Google Doc. And then I guess that is nearly it because I review, it's a manual step, and mark as ready to post. That looks already quite well. Now we have to also, I just thought about it, we also have to figure out how to add the document and all its infos to Airtable. So we have to build in that as well. And honestly, I think I can just do it because I have to decide each time whether I want this draft to be reviewed by Sveta, right? Not each one has to be reviewed. So let's say I have a draft, I have a Google Doc. I want her to review that. That is important. So let's say Lotta puts that draft into certain folder. And that could be the trigger. So not that one. Although it doesn't have to be a trigger, it can run on demand. So we would just start here. Maybe this could happen then automatically when I run the automation. Yeah, this could happen automatically. Okay. So I guess we know what needs to happen step by step. Now it would be good to build it out in make.com. Just let me check if that would really get rid of manual steps. Am I going to review workflows better? I guess all of this moving around, this would still have to happen manually. So I put the draft into a certain folder and then I click the automation to run. I guess that's enough because then this would happen already automatically. This would happen automatically. Sveta would get a message review, and then she only would mark that in Airtable. I get a Slack message, click the link, review, and mark as ready to post. And that would be actually all about. So the biggest thing, like adding, okay, that would have to be a step. Another step. Add doc to Airtable. It has to be added to the content database. That's a lot of work as well. Okay. Yeah. Let's connect these two. Okay. So yeah, I guess we have it. And now we only have to build it in Make. Let's go do that. I thought it will be good to reuse part of the flow that I already have. So what I did, I copied this whole Make scenario and I renamed it this new version, Sveta for review. Of course, I need to adjust it. It's not the same that happens here. So let's adjust it. First of all, this one will run on demand. So only when I really think, okay, this needs to be reviewed. So let's say on demand. And then, not yet. And then it will check a different folder, right? Watch documents by create date. That's fine. Choose the drive. Okay, and the folder, I need to choose a different one. Okay, so let's try to choose here the right folder. That's in the drafts. So I added a new folder. I know that was already there actually. There was already a folder. It's also shared with Sveta. And that's the one. Okay, limit. Let's say 3. Okay, now get new content by mapping. Document ID. Still true. So it should get the new content, Define type of content, that is also fine. It will split the title, that works also fine. And then add content to database, but the status should be different, right? Because we want it to be for Sveta. For Sveta, right? Web view link, still the same. That can stay. Value, ignore that for now. Yeah, let's ignore platform for now. We can add that later. All right. Yes, that's that. It's save. Not forget to save. Click save here as well. But now I don't really want to move it right anywhere. I need to send a Slack message to Sveta, so I need Slack. And then okay, direct message. Could you please review this content, please? Thank you so much. Can I give her a heart? I can. Let's see if that'll work. I don't know. Okay, probably I would have to write it out somehow. Anyway, thank you so much. And I'll do it like this link. Okay, I don't see this web view link info here. Maybe it's high time we check the scenario actually. And then we'll have the data, but I don't want to ping Sveta. It's maybe not the right time. So let's unlink this. So for now, the scenario would end here. I hope it will allow. Yeah, okay, great. So let's run this, but first we have to put something into the folder. What do we have? It's this one. Let's just put a draft in there. Just put a draft in there. I don't know, something like that. So we have something here. It should check it. Oh yeah, let's run once. Saw the file. Okay. I love it when it's green. So carousel, good. All right, so that ran fine. And now if we connect that, we should be able to map the web view link. Yeah, that's that. Save. And then let's have a look again at our plan that we had. So I pushed drafts into a certain folder. The document is added to the Airtable. Let's check that, okay? So it should be here. Okay, let's move that a bit so it's in the middle. Yes, it worked. It really worked. Yeah, we didn't mark the platform, type carousel, status for Sveta, and then let's see if it brings us to the Google Doc. Yes, really good. Okay, great. Honestly, that worked quickly. Okay, so now let's have a look at our plan again. That worked. And now only, yes, mark draft for review in Airtable. And then we also have to send this message to Sveta. We have it now. And we can try now. So this one we can delete because we don't need to move anything around in the folders. And the message is ready. I guess we can test it. So I will do it with something that I wrote already. It's a blog post. I would like Sveta to check that very much. So let's add blog here. That's a long title. Let's shorten that. Okay. And now I guess I have to move it. Yeah, I have to move it in this file, in this folder. Move, right? And now I guess we can run the scenario. Let's save it. Okay, it has been saved. Run once. Oops. Okay. Seems like that worked. Let's see now. Here, yes, it has added the, okay, and the status type block, okay. And it's here in status for Sveta. Okay, great. So that is the first part of this automation, the main part already, because the last thing we have to build is that when Sveta marks to reviewed in Airtable, then I get a Slack message. And that's actually all, right? And it will also contain the link. Okay, so let's build that. This part we can build in Airtable directly. We don't need make.com automations for this. So here, for example, we can do it that when Sveta changes the status to reviewed by us, then I get a Slack message. And that is something that you can set up here directly in Airtable automations. You can see that I don't have any. I had some before, but then I switched a lot of them to make.com to build them a bit out further. But yeah, let's do this one here because it's so simple. It's just one step. So the trigger would be when record enters view, right? Because it will enter the view. That's my social table, and the view will be reviewed by Sveta. Then I want to have a message. Okay, I use suggested record because we tested out immediately. Okay, oh, it's successful. Okay, it found this one record that is already there. Great. So now we add, I love it when it works, Slack, send a message. And my Slack is already connected here. I used it in the past, I guess. Description, I don't think we need that. Maybe if we have more of them, then it would be good. But for now, I think that's enough. Slack account. Okay, manage connected accounts. Oh, no, that's fine. Okay. And the message would be, hi, Dorota. Sveta has reviewed your content. Check it out here. And then we need to, I guess here, yes, what do we want? Insert value from field, right? Hope that'll work. The URL, so that is the field that we want. All right, now something is not configured. What's wrong? Okay, I don't know. I don't know why. Okay, it's me. Yes. Okay, great. So now we should be able to test the step. Where is it? Oh. Okay. Yes, so now we need to actually use this. Let's say Sveta is finished and she switches it here. Where are we? The automations. Automations, and now we can test it. Okay, that's the previous Sveta has reviewed your content. Check it out here. And yeah, I guess it's tested. All right. So now we want to turn it on. I would do it like that. So now it's on. But to really, really test it, we just go to data again. I would say let's switch the blog post back to our Sveta. Then I'd refresh. And now let's test. So Sveta has reviewed, she marked reviewed. Yeah, that's my Slack message. It's not in the DMs, it's from Airtable. So, hi, Dorota, I reviewed your text. Okay, that was of one before. Sveta has reviewed your content. And now let's check the link. Hope it works. Yes, that's the blog post. So we have now built out this whole plan that we had, right? Because that was the plan. And we have this part in make.com because it's a bit more complicated. You have to add data to Airtable, right? So this happens outside of Airtable first, and that's why we needed make.com automation. But the second part here, that one that we built already simply within Airtable. And that is really a cool thing about Airtable, that you can build these automations here directly. Okay, that's that. I love it when it runs so smoothly. And that's another annoying task I got rid of. So if you want to learn more about these kind of automations, let me know, follow me. I will be definitely posting about all the steps to automate my whole huge content creation workflow.